Let's do a mermaid look with my new Adept Cosmetics Sapphire Selene palette. These came across my For You page. I was absolutely blown away. This one first, I'll show you, is the new Muted Dahlia Blush palette. This is going to be perfect for my cool, fair skin. And then to go along with it, I picked up, what is this? The Sapphire Selene eyeshadow palette. This is absolutely gorgeous. Look at all those foils. Look at all of those colors. I'm really digging the deep mattes. The other thing I picked up for the Memorial Day sale was some stuff from DanessaMyricksBeauty. So we are going to test that out today. I picked up a set with minis that had some mini blushes and then a mini Universal Radiant Blurring Balm Powder. Just gonna go in and put this in with my fingers. I did my skin prep already. This is the Tier Milk Skin Toner and their Milky Ampule, in case you are wondering what the crazy glow is. Hydrate. We're gonna try the DanessaMyricksBeauty Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint. So many people talk about this skin tint. I'm just gonna rub it in with my fingers a little bit, and then we're gonna go in with my beauty blender. Sometimes I wonder if I should go a shade darker on my face. Then it wouldn't blend into my neck really. I look insane, but I'm gonna take the beauty sponge, the giant beauty sponge that I have. We're going to pat this in. It's gonna soak up some of that extra product too. This isn't a setting spray, but I'm gonna do a spray of this KOPHER Cure Pair Derma Ampule. I'm just gonna spray this over top of this to kind of maybe melt some of this together. It might ruin it, it might not. I definitely think that helped quite a bit. I'm also going to spray some of this Urban Decay All Nighter, the glowy one. I know this is the new formulation, not the old one, but I know that it helps layering setting sprays with your makeup, because if you're dry skin like me, you get separation and crusties and stuff. I also have the matte one. I think I'm gonna use this one at the end, the new one. We'll see. I'm going to do bronzer. I think I'm just gonna do the ColourPop liquid bronzer. I think that one is my favorite. I really love this new liquid bronzer. It has such a good tone to it. For today, for brushes, I'm gonna be using my Made by Mitchell brushes. I really need to wash my Morphe brushes. My mini DanessaMyricksBeauty set came with 4 blushes. I think we're gonna go in with this one. It's the most understated. It is Rose and Brunch. I'm just gonna go right in. And I know that these are pigmented. That's okay, because I'm going to put stuff over top of this. Now is when I would normally do concealer. I think I'm going to skip it, only because the concealers that I have are very, very thick, and I don't want to go into my bedroom where my boyfriend is sleeping. I'm just gonna use a little bit more of the skin tint. We'll go in with like a small brush, because I do want a little bit more coverage. Something a little bit fluffy, not dense, so it doesn't lay down a lot of product. I think this works. I'm gonna take the same brush that I used for the blush and just stipple that on top of the concealer, so there's less of a line there. Now it just looks even more diffused. Although you can still see the huge bags under my eyes, we're leaving it, I don't care. We're gonna set down with some bronzer. I wish I had a fluffier brush that was a little bit smaller, because I wanted to save this one for powder. We're just gonna put it into this baked bronzer from DIBS. This is definitely not the right brush for this. Actually, you know what? It doesn't matter. Makeup is art. You can use whatever brushes and tools you want to paint your canvas. I'm going to use this one because I have it and it's clean. This smells like chocolate. This is the shade Vanilla Latte. I think it's a good tone for the paleys like me. I think that's really pretty. Now we're gonna do powder blush. I'm actually just gonna use the same brush. I'm just gonna like wipe it off on my pants. For powder blush, we're gonna go in with the new NYX Butter Than Coral. I think this will go nicely. I'm just very lightly, and I'm gonna diffuse it on the back of my hand. Then we're going in with it because it is so pigmented. I think that was a good call. I feel like I'm forgetting a step. I'm gonna do highlighter at the end, so I'm going to set my face. We're going to use the L'Oreal Infallible Blurfection Pink Powder. I'm going to use this from Real Techniques. I'm just going to set it gently in some areas. I don't want to cause any cakiness or anything under my eyes, so I'm going to be very gentle there, avoiding directly under my eye and just setting like here. It does blur quite nicely. I do really like this powder. You can really kind of see the difference even just on the two sides. I am going to take a smaller brush and dust it underneath my eyes. I just don't want to pack it in like I used to 20 years ago. I do want to take this shine down, and because I am pink, the pinkness in the powder doesn't do anything for me. I do really like this puff. I think it distributes the powder really nicely without caking it into spots. How that just like blurs everything so quickly. It doesn't leave me like, it doesn't suck it all up on my dry skin and leave me looking like crap. All right, I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna use the puff and go underneath my eye. This might be my downfall. I think it worked okay. I think we're good. Now I'm going to top it with some of these cool tone blushes from the Adept Cosmetics. I want to see what that does. I'm going in with this shade, the baby pink shade. It doesn't have a name. I think this is really pretty. I'm going to play with the blush palette another time because I really want to do that with like a contour shade, like maybe something a little bit more gray or like earthy toned. For today, we're going to be doing the eyeshadow. I think that that looks pretty good though, on top of everything else. I'm going to take a little bit of the skin tint that I had marinating on the back of my hand. I'm just going to work that into a fluffy brush. I just want to prep my eyes a little bit. Nothing crazy. Just get a little bit of a base down. Then I'm going to spray. I'm going to spray with the matte Urban Decay setting spray. Adding the spray between the layers definitely helps. You can see it kind of like melts everything together. That's what you want to use a setting spray for. A finishing spray would be to fix everything to your face at the end. I'm going to use a little bit of this Made by Mitchell liquid highlighter. This is in the shade Angel something. I cannot read that shade name on the back here. It's impossible to read. It's white on bright green. It's something. Put a little bit on the back of my hand, and then I'm just going to pat that on with my finger. We're gonna put a little bit on the brow bone, and I think that looks so pretty. I can't wait to play with this eyeshadow palette because I feel like it's gonna go so well with this base. Now we're gonna do some eyeshadow. Taking like a decently sized medium-ish brush, I'm going to go into Velvet Petal and put that all over my lid. I really want to pack that on there. Get a nice base going. I'm just gonna blend that out, windshield wiper motions on the edge. I think we're gonna keep it a little simple. I'm gonna take a packer brush. I'm gonna go into Minty. We're gonna use these 3 shades here down the line. I'm gonna do that on the inner corner all the way to about halfway. And I'm just gonna pack that in. The same thing on both sides. I'm gonna go back to that fluffy brush and just windshield wiper out the edges on top. We're gonna dip it into the Kona blue down here, which is like a nice navy blue. And that is just gonna go here in the outer corner, and we're gonna be very careful. We're just gonna pack that just in the outer corner. Now that I've got that packed in the outer corner, I'm going to take another fluffy brush. I'm going to blend. I'm going to dip this into the Minty shade as well to help transition this. You just keep dipping into Minty and Kona back and forth, just slightly. Keep blending back and forth until you get a good blend. This is decent. It's not my best work ever. It'll do because we're gonna put some stuff on top of it. I went back into Velvet Petal. I just blended that into the edges to diffuse the outer edge of the eye. I also took some of Kona and kind of pulled it out a little bit. I did that on both sides, so you can see it's kind of pulled out into the Velvet Petal. I'm just gonna go back in with that packer brush into Minty and just kind of refresh the color in the corner here. Not too much. I just want to refresh it where I may have blended it away a little bit too much. With my finger, I'm going to go into Serpo. It's so pretty. I'm debating between that one or Diamond Ripple. There's also Obsidian Ink, which is really pretty. I think I'm going to stick with the one that I originally wanted. I'm just going to put that in the middle of the blend, right where that transition is. If you didn't do a good job blending, it's not going to matter. Put that right in the middle of the eye. For liner, I'm actually going to use this purple color Royal Eclipse. We are going to use a really thin brush. Here is my trick for this. You're going to spray the brush with a setting spray. I usually use MAC Fix Plus, but this is what I have. I'm just going to let it dry for like a couple of seconds. And then I'm just going to dip it right into the powder. It's going to make it like a really nice compact. I just even it out on the back of my hand. We're just gonna do a really thin line all across the bottom lash. I just make like a tiny little wing. I'm gonna do that on the bottom as well. And I'm just gonna repeat that on the other side. My eyes water a lot, so that took a lot of cajoling. I am just going to add a little bit more of that minty color underneath my eyes. I would prefer to use a more smudgy brush. This is what I have clean. Again, I'm just going to put it on the back of my hand first. Then I'm just gonna run this along underneath to the end where that eyeliner is. I actually think I will use a fluffy brush and just gonna smudge that in. And if using the setting spray on your eyeshadows makes the top hard pan a little bit, like you can see on the purple there, it kind of hard panned a little bit, just use a piece of tape. Just put the piece of tape over top and then pull off, and it'll pull the whole hard pan off. I wouldn't suggest doing that often. Really, you should just spray the brush. I did accidentally put the damp brush into here. That's how you fix it, in case you do that. Going in one last time with the Urban Decay matte setting spray, then I'm going to do my mascara. For mascara, I'm going in with a sample of the MAC Stack Elevated Mascara. I just got this today. My eyes are watering so bad, so it is totally ruining down here. I don't know how to get away from that. It's done this like my whole life. I don't know how to fix that. Nothing wants to stick to it. Once it starts watering, that's it. I can't fix it. It's just gonna be pink there forever. It ruins every single look. Every single one. Every single one. We're leaving it and we're pretending we don't see it. So I don't know how to fix that. I do like this mascara. I think it is very pretty. I'm all done messing with it now. What do you guys think? I ended up using the Half Magic. Is the shade Magic Drip. I just put a little sheer like tint of it on. Not too much. There's a little bit of Clinique Black Honey underneath that. I feel like a princess. I feel like this is what makeup used to be 10 years ago. I love it. Bye.